good drive yesterday. Racked up about 200k yesterday. Car got full of bugs. I'll show you where we went. I'll drop a screenshot in. It was just to the usual, the Bindoon bakery. Really nice. Didn't have a pie this time, so I can't comment on the pies. Their pies are good. I've had them before, but yeah, ended up having a bacon and egg roll, I think it was. But anyway, the car got covered in. I haven't washed it for like almost 2 weeks, so it was pretty dirty to begin with. I was going to wash it before we went, and I thought, nah, better not, because it'd probably get covered in bugs at the front, and that's exactly what happened. So got home, washed it, inside, outside, everything like that. I've jacked it up, well, not jacked it up, I've driven it up the stands. They're the little modified little ramps. They worked really well, straight up, no worries. I've dropped the that oil, or the engine cover, the underneath engine cover shroud. I don't even know what its technical name is. Whatever it is, it's a pain in the bum. I'll go and count them. It's either 16 or 17 bolts, but we'll go and count them in a minute. So all good. All change is going well. I've checked the oil like probably four times, and it's still perfect. So I didn't stuff anything up. So it's the first time I've done an oil change on it, so I wanted to make sure. I've noticed that it takes a while to heat up now, the oil, because it's got a thing on the dash there for oil temp. Before it used to get to 80 really fast, 80, 82. Now it's sitting on about 72. It's about 10 degrees cooler, so that's probably for the better. Probably because there's less friction, because it's a thicker oil. And anyway, I'm not an expert, but it's definitely running cooler. Takes longer to heat up. So we're good here. I'm just trying to gather a few things. Yeah, no, I think that's it. So actually I might turn these lights off. Okay, so we're done in here. Yeah, that was a mission again. It takes, you know, I know it's only 16 bolts, but it's the fact that you've got to spend 5 minutes or 7 minutes undoing bolts to do a 5-minute job. If it was spending 5 minutes to undo those bolts to do an hour job, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's such a easy, quick job that this just doubles the time. And then so I found some tin, so I'm just going to use this. It's a shelf. It's a shelf from this thing that I never used, my little cabinet there. So I'm just going to use that. That's all we need. It's like very, very thin. It doesn't have to be anything special. And then if the boys get out of the way, while I was looking for that, because I knew I had it, just had to find it. I actually found these were all on top of it. So a couple of signs. I'll hang them up in the garage. That'll be pretty cool. And then I've got a rear triangle side window. I'm pretty sure it's driver's side for the Tirana. Driver's side window and a crash pad for the dash. It was all underneath. I didn't even know I had it. It was all underneath there. So I'll put all that up for sale. Might make a couple $100 out of all that. Be pretty good. It's funny actually. The car. Yeah, the car that all this came out of. I bought it for $200 because my original car had too much rust in it, so I bought a complete Tirana for $200. It was a 6-cylinder automatic. No, it was a 3-speed, so the gear shifter was on the steering column, 3-speed. And I bought it for $200. Running, driving, licensed car, drove really well, and it had only done 90. When I bought it, only done 96,000 k's. And I bought it in 2001, and it was a 1975, so done low Ks, $200. I was like, yep, done. I bought it because it had a better body with it had no rust in it, so it was just easier to buy a whole new car rather than fix the rust that was in mine. It would have costed too much, so yeah. But anyway, I sold the engine and gearbox to my dad's friend, so I bought it on a Saturday, sold the engine and gearbox the next day on a Sunday to dad's friend for $200. So the car paid for itself within the first day, or within 24 hours. Then I sold the whole interior out of it for about $400. I just made so much more money than what I actually paid for it. I don't know, it was just a fluke. But anyway, now these 3 parts are probably worth what the car cost me, $200 just for those 3 parts, and they came out of the $200 car. So that car's probably paid for itself about 10 times over, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's 20 something years ago, so yeah, all good. Had a bit of a tidy up in here. You guys probably can't tell, but I can. It's a little bit cleaner. There's a little bit less poop up there. A little bit more poop up here. So these are projects that we got to do. So this thing's going to be a nice quick one. I may even have in the wheels here, I might even have something like these two wheels, pop them out, and I want to change these wheels over because these are too high. They barely get underneath my wagon. It's definitely not getting under the Z, so I want to try and lower it if I can. See what happens. I've got some touch-up paint to do. I'm not going to film it. It's literally watching paint dry. Yeah, so no, not filming that. So the bike rack I made. So this bike rack is for this bike. After I bought it, it had a short circuit in it. I did find it. So what happens is, you turn the lights on, and you wiggle this around in the tow bar, and at a certain angle you can hear some buzzing, and all the lights turn off. So I found it. It was in this end. It's a funny way to wire this. So I've got these. So this is the trailer wire. So if you can imagine, it's in this tube. They're connected, and then these two lights, instead of going that way, they go all the way this way. Everything gets connected out of that end, even these two lights, and then another wire runs all the way back halfway and here to the plug that plugs into the car. It's the only way I could really do it rather than starting to fish wires through. Anyway, fix that one. Now it's got another short. I think it's here where it's rubbing. So what I'm going to do is take all the lights out, drill holes, because I think the wire for the light is kind of about here. So what I'll do is I'll just drill straight through the back, and I'm going to put all the wiring on the outside at the back, and I'll put it all in a nice conduit to protect it, because it's done it again. So that's why it's here. It's shorted out again, and it's not good because you're driving around with no lights on. You can kind of see the lights on the car, but it's better if the lights are on here. It's got all the wiring, so might as well use it. So, that's another job. We'll probably do that tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be quite nice, and then it's getting up to like 30 degrees, so I really don't want to be in the shed on in the afternoon at 30 degrees. It'll be a bit warm in here, so at least this way you can work outside in this kind of temperature. So yeah, we'll get onto that. But yeah, that should be easy, and I've got enough wire. I just measured it, and there's enough wire there, and I'll probably can reuse some of this anyway, so no issue there. So yeah, I shouldn't really have to go and buy anything for that. I've got everything here, so it should be easy to fix. I've got conduit, got everything, so all good. If you watched the oil change video, I think it was at the end, I mentioned that we're going to do an oil change on the i20 as well. That never happened. I thought it was due at 75. The car's currently got 77 on it, 1000 Ks. I went under there, I had it all up on the stands, went under there, and I've written on the oil filter 70,000 December 23. So last December I done it at 70,000, so it's not due until 80,000. So I just didn't have it written on my paperwork that I keep a track of on Google Drive there. So I've updated all 3 cars now on Google Drive. I've got their VIN number written down, everything, so then that way if you ever go to buy parts for the car, they always ask you for the VIN. They type the VIN in and then it comes in and with the list of parts. It's just easier. So got the number plate, got the VIN written down, so then I don't have to remember. I can just rock up, open it on my phone and tell them the VIN number of the car. It's just a lot easier. But yeah, everything's updated, all that stuff, so all good now. So yeah, it's still got another 3,000 Ks and then we'll service the i20, so all good. But anyway, that was a big introduction. So all we're going to do, so this is the thing, the cover. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, 16. There's 16 bolts and 3 clips. There's like 3 little push clips just here. So 16 bolts, 3 clips. It's just stupid. And all I need is access. You can see here, this white thing. That's all I need is the drain plugs like here in the middle of the car, and the oil filter kind of sits there. So what I'm going to do is I'll clean that up just so some tape can stick to it. It's a little bit dirty. I'll get some tape because that's the easiest way of getting like a nice straight line like that. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because I kind of just guessed this, like just had a look, kind of memorized it and marked it up a little bit. So I may even, it's a funny shape, it's a really funny shape, so I'm kind of hoping, I don't want to cut it down here, I kind of want to cut it on this high bit there, cut it on this high bit here to this high bit, but first of all I'm going to go to this high bit and just cut it around like this on the high bit and cut that out, and we'll see how we go from there, because then I've got to think about how I'm going to retain this bit of metal. I'm going to do it with nutserts, I'm pretty sure, but we need something for those nutserts to grip onto, so I need them to, anyway, we'll think about that. But I just don't want to make the hole too big. I want to make it as small as possible, but still functional and still working. So that's my guess from when I was under the car. I'm going to cut it smaller, and then we'll go and fit it up and see if we need to make any adjustments, and hopefully we can see everything. Once you got the hole here, once you got this like smaller cut out, you'll be able to see the drain plug and the oil filter, and then it'll only take 2 goes to get it spot on. So but anyway, I'll cut that up first, and then we'll go and try it on the car. Okay, so I just went and had a quick look. There's no point me filming under there. There's not a lot of light and there's not a lot of space to film. But now that I've got that window there, I can actually see what's going on. So the drain plug sits about here. So I'm going to have to come back a bit, kind of like that. Then you've got a bolt there and a bolt there. So this is kind of not doing anything, this raised bit. So what I'll do is I'll cut all the way around. I'll leave a little bit of a lip on it just for some strength, and then we'll just go jump up like that. I will make this straighter. This is just freehand for now. And then I was trying to think of what we can do here, but it actually looks like it might actually pay to go. I was going to go to in here, but then this is in the way when you want to use your oil filter wrench. So I'm going to go kind of in here again, leave a little bit of the lip for strength, and then here is a bit difficult. I definitely want to keep some of it, so I might just go around, and that's not really straight, but I will straighten this up with tape. But anyway, something like that. So it is going to be a fair bit bigger. This line here, you can kind of see it at the back, but it gives you the most amount of space to work with the oil filter wrench. You could do it smaller, but there's no way you get the oil filter off. So and this is covering up the drain plug, so it definitely needs to go this way. It has to go this way a bit, but width-wise you could probably get away with a little bit bigger than this hole, but it's not going to give you any room to swing the wrench, the oil filter wrench. So I'll get this cut out. What I might do is taper this corner a bit to leave this, to give it a bit of strength, and then we'll go from there. But because you've got a bolt here, a bolt there, a bolt here, and then the next one is these clips and another bolt there and another bolt just here, it's kind of holding it fairly tight anyway. And then it's going to give me a nice little flat area kind of there, here, and possibly here, to put the rib nuts, then to make a patch panel. And we're going to have to make the patch panel a bit funny, so we'll see how we go. I don't know how it's going to turn out. My metalworking skills aren't the best to make a intricate panel to fit that, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, got a bit carried away with myself there and haven't been filming. I just got in the groove, it's not what I normally do, so it requires a bit of thinking. So I've ended up cutting that whole section out apart from its closest mounting tabs. I think I've cut one mounting tab out. Looks a bit rough, but I'm going to paint it. I'm going to rub it up. It's going to come up nice, but it has to have those bends in it. So it's pretty much. So I've just put a riv nut in the plastic. So that's to locate, and I've got to drill that out yet. And then you can see the bolt holes where they match up. Everything matches in nice. I've already had it on the car. Looks good. Fits good. So yeah, we just got to kind of like that. I think that's how it's going to go. Yeah, something like that. But this is all. It's not like that. It's like that. So you'll see it all fit up. I'll go and see if I can get it on the car. This is pretty. I've got to just drill this out. So what I did find a bolt, luckily enough, and it is the same. So this is the original bolts that hold this together. Because I have actually cut one. I've cut one away, so I'm going to have a spare one of these. Yeah, so I don't really need that, but I've made it the same thread anyway. So yeah, I shouldn't have to use that one. I should be able to use one of the original ones now for this Rivner. It's the same thread, same size, and same socket, everything. So works good. I'll go and see if I can get this on the car and film. Probably not going to be able to do it with the gimbal. I'll just take it freehand. Okay, so that's tight, that's tight, that's tight, that's tight, and we're good. So it's got a nice little match. Hopefully you can see, but it's got the nice little thing to fit in. So it's streamlined. It's tight. It's not going anywhere. It's got 1, 2, 3 bolts holding it. So they're the original pickup points, and this is the new one with the riv nut in the plastic. So all good. So really, I know it fits now, so I can probably tighten this plastic back up because that doesn't have to come down ever again. So let me do that. I'll go through, tighten everything up, and then I'll do a mock oil change kind of thing on it, and you can see how easy it is to undo. Okay, so it's all back, hopefully never to come off again. So now, if you ever want to do an oil change, and we're going to do this, I sit back here, you'll be able to see that, hopefully. So make sure, so it's literally, three 10 mils, off they come. Do your business. So you got drain plug right here, easy to get to, no dramas, and oil filter right there. I ended up getting some torque seal the other day, so good idea. Whack a bit on. It's just a visual thing to make sure nothing's moving, and that's it. 2 little dollops, one on the drain plug, one on the one on the oil filter. So that's an original one pickup, and that's the original pickup there, and then that's my new one. So they just go back like that. Start them by hand always. The only time I've stripped bolts is when you start them with these guns. And I did with the surround only because there's 17 of them. But now that there's only 3, I'll probably just do them hand finger type. It doesn't matter, I suppose. Let's do it. They're strong. I trust it. And then I like to just finish them by hand, just so you know they're tight. There we go. Oh, I've got to take this off again. But anyway, that's how you do it. She's all tight. Didn't have to touch the other 15 bloody bolts. Only got to touch 2 originals and 1 extra one. But even then, they're all 10 mil. So all good. You only need a 10 mil. You only got to come under here with a 10 mil and a 14 mil for the drain plug and a oil filter wrench, and you're all done. So all good. Hopefully you can see, not just the top of my bald head. All good. All right. Well, I'm going to whip this off again, and we'll go on 80 grit sandpaper everywhere, and prime it and paint it black. That way it all fits in under here. Okay, nice nice thin coat. You can still, well, I don't know actually, you guys probably can't, but I can still see through that. And it's a hammer finish paint, so it's thick anyway, but that is very thin for a hammer finish. So it's a grey colour, it's not black. It doesn't matter what colour it is, but if I don't like it, I do have a black zinc paint there, so Yeah, should be fine. I can go over it if I want to, otherwise just leave it this colour. That way it's a little bit contrasting, and you can, not that you can't see it, but yeah, just a contrasting colour. But I'll give it 10-15. I think this paint is fairly quick. So it is 2 to 3. Spray 1 light coat and allow to dry for a minimum of 5 minutes. Apply a further 2 to 3 medium coats to build up the thickness gradually. Heavy application will result in a more pronounced pattern, which is what we want. So yeah, I'll just leave it in the sun, keep it hot, give it 5, give it another coat. I'll come and I'm going to pack up a little bit in here while that's drying, and then I'll get back to you once it's got the 2 or 3 coats on there. Okay, all done. Got a couple little runs in it, but yeah, nothing serious. Just going to leave it. I'm not going to paint it black. It's going to stay the way it is. That hammer finish is pretty durable, so all good. So I think we'll just leave it. I'm going to leave this for probably till tomorrow. Just let it get nice and dry, and put it back on the car tomorrow, arvo, and then bring the car down off the ramps after that. So next time you guys will see it on the car will be when I do the 5,000 oil change on it. I'll probably record that oil change just to show how this thing works, and then do the oil change. Probably keep the video until I get the results back, and we'll have a chat about the results when I get the results back from the 5,000, and then in that video we'll compare it to the 2,500 which I've sent off the other day. So hopefully it's on a upward trend of being good news. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. But yeah, that's you can tell that's the first time I've ever made anything complex like that out of metal. I've made brackets and flat things, but never anything with bends and twists and have to match up with bolt holes and that kind of gear. So yeah, it's not the best looking, it's good enough. It'll serve a purpose. You'll never see it under the car. The only person that's ever going to see is me, so I can live with that. And it just makes the job so much easier. When I was putting that plastic back on, I've lost a bolt, so it's got to be under the car somewhere. I haven't used it somewhere else. It's not here. I've looked. So yeah, I don't know where it is. You can see the nice day it is. Actually, it's been raining all night, and it's come good now, so that's all sweet. So yeah, a bolt's gone missing. Hopefully when I take the car out and take that rubber mat that's under there, it might be under the stands or underneath the rubber mat, so hopefully we find it. I'll just put it aside and put it back in to the one that's missing next time I do the oil change. Then the battery went flat on my little Milwaukee wrench thing, so it took like 15 minutes to screw that thing back in. By the time I walked here, change the battery, come back, then I went, oh well, I need an extension now, so I had to come back, get an extension. It's just an absolute pain. So being able to do only 3 bolts and do them by hand as well, it's going to be so much better. So all good. Not that it's a racing car and I'm going to be changing oil all the time, but it's just, yeah, I just don't see why they wouldn't do that. So the Commodore, my wagon, is going to cop the exact same treatment, so we'll do the same thing. I've only just serviced that, and that's got the same thing. It's got a big guard. Doesn't have 16 bolts, so I think it's got about 7 or 8. But I'll do the same thing, and I only need to do it for the oil drain on the Commodore, so it's only just got to be a little hole right where the oil drain is. And I might not even make up a panel for it because it is going to be so small right down the bottom. I might just do it so that it just exposes the oil drain plug. That car, the oil filter is up in the engine bay. It's just a cartridge one that you just pop a top on a little lid, put a new cartridge in, and then screw the lid back on, so it's easy. So it's only just for the oil drain. But anyway, yeah, I'll close this video off. That'll go back on the car tomorrow. There's no point showing you that. You've seen how it comes on and off. It's easy, 3 bolts, so sweet as. That's it. So tomorrow it's going to be a nice day, only 20 degrees or so. So I think tomorrow we'll hit that bike rack and rewire that bike rack. I'll check the weather. If it's going to be, I do know there is a 30 or 31 degree day coming, and I don't know when it is. So yeah, so if it is cooling off towards the end of the week, then I might save it for then, because I know my back, I've been rolling around under the car, it's about 4 hours I've been mucking around with this thing, standing up and down, and I know my back's not going to like it tonight and possibly tomorrow, so it may not happen tomorrow, but it'll hopefully happen this week sometime. But yeah, all good. Anyway, thanks for the help. I'll catch you on the next one.